Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today in the studio. I'm actually going to paint for you the image that I sent out in the email. So that's I've been kind of going off script the last couple of live streams. So I'm going to paint this for us, seeing it's so beautiful. I hope you had a really wonderful holiday. Got to do fun things, eat lots of fun food that we don't get to eat all all year long. I hope you had a wonderful time. I did. I really did. It was just kind of just simple and rich and wonderful. So there's that, and just a couple of announcements. And the landscape in Pastel workshop is still on sale. So if you haven't checked it out, go to paintinglessonswithmarla.com and check it out. It's a really deep dive, different from the monthly subscription, which is a lot of different subjects. Landscapes is focusing obviously just on the landscape, but with three core elements of the landscape: skies, trees, and water, which are really foundational to landscape painting. So check it out. It's still on sale for a little bit longer. And the monthly people get their discount as always on it. So just remember that. And also the Etsy sale is just for a few more days. So I did post a few more paintings last night, and I will today as well. But I'm going to have to put them back to a regular price in a couple of days here. So make sure you check that out as well too. So I really need you guys to take some of these little beauties off my hands. They really get to be stacking up, and I'd rather have people have them at a really good price than have them just sitting around in flat files or in cabinets just stacking up and getting a little dog-eared. So that's not good. So I'd rather have you guys have them. So there's that. I thought I'd start out with a little reading from a book today before I get started painting, and then I'm going to paint for you. This is from The Poetic Landscape, Elizabeth Mowry, who was just a pioneer in painting the landscape in pastel. She's since passed away, which is sad, but she was kicking around for a long time, and she wrote some really beautiful books. She's written several books. She wrote several books on pastel painting, and they really are so beautiful, and they're so well written. And I just happened to pick this one up the other day. And you guys might know that my new bookcases went in last week in honor of my mom. My mom and I got to design the bookcases together. And unfortunately, she didn't get to see them all installed, but they sure are amazing. And now I have all my beautiful art books, most of which my mom was responsible for me having, all gathered together. They have a nice, cozy, appropriate home to live in now. So it's pretty epic. That was my Christmas gift to myself. So this is from The Poetic Landscape, and this one really resonates with this little passage, resonates with me, and maybe it'll explain to you guys a little bit why I am so drawn to just really simple, ordinary things. She says, by avoiding the specific, the odd, and the rare, an artist will usually find it possible to concentrate so fully on the familiar that the common becomes exciting. When explored to great depths, the familiar transcends the common and approaches the mysterious. This cannot occur when details of a particular place are present, because they get in the way of free association. The most highly evolved landscape paintings are impartial. An idea is simply placed on the canvas. Neither weighted message nor judgments lurk upon its surface. The poetic landscapes have the unique duality of strength and beauty, but without a point of view. The creator of them is not forcing a cause on the onlooker. Instead, the observer is given the opportunity to connect with the subject on his or her own terms. Personal associations are prompted by whatever part of the landscape brings past experiences or memories to the surface. In every case, the degree of connection will depend somewhat on the experiences the painter shares with those of the viewer. So cool. This book is just chock full of those kinds of beautiful insights and comments on painting. So I love her books, and I love her work. Her work so amazing. And for the most part, her landscape compositions were quite simple. We could do top down a little bit, Bryce, and just show. And so I pulled this out today, or yesterday, I should say, knowing that what I was going to paint today, and these compositions have in common with what I'm going to paint today that there are a lot of the subject is the intervals or the cadence of the relationship of the trees to one another as they sort of march this long kind of panoramic viewpoint. Now, that being said, today I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to, this particular reference photo does sort of lend itself to this long format, kind of frieze-like format. But I'm going to switch that up a little bit and keep it to the square, which I really love. And what I've done is I've sort of picked out a couple things. Maybe we could go to the iPad, Bryce. Yeah. And so first and foremost, I'm going to show you. Let's see here. I'm going to crop it like this, and I've kind of cropped into it what I think is kind of strategically, I hope. I'm going to give it a little more space at the bottom to ground it, a little more of a base. And then I'm thinking, so I have this is kind of what I'm thinking about with the tree trunks. You see how we've got the thick and thin, and we've got some are kind of tipped in to the composition, some are out a little bit, but there's an interesting cadence there. And I think that that's important. You can think about a composition as being like a composition in music. You don't want it just boring. You don't want everything evenly spaced like this. You want da 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 da, kind of like that. And visually, that's what we're trying to do, is have it be more interesting. So that all being said, all that good stuff, I am going to go ahead and paint this guy. Now, I do actually want to look at my cropping here, just so at the beginning. And yeah, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started painting. I'm on which pastel mat? It's not the Sanguine. Forget which this one is called. Sanguine's a little bit more salmony. This is a little different. This is not Buttercup. I forget what it's called. I'll find out. And I'm trying to be a little more cognizant this year about sizing and trying to, be a little kinder to my people that want to buy the demos, because in terms of framing. And so I'm going to make this, go ahead and make this 12 by 12. Try to get it pretty close to that. And this bounding box or picture frame, whatever you want to call it, image area is important. Now, I said I wanted a little bit more ground plane than the photo indicates. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right off. The other thing I really love about this photo is just the quality of light, and that the trees, the tree trunks are in shadow, and then we're looking through that shadow shape to the light. That's really cool.
Did you take this reference photo?
Yes, I did. This is mine. Yeah, this is in Telluride. Yep, I got to go to this beautiful spot. And I happened to be there just at the most beautiful, height of fall.
A lot of folks are thinking it's the sienna pastel.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. Thanks. Thank you. I love it when you guys do my work for me. Appreciate it very much. All right, so now this nice little gap here. Don't want it to be too much. I don't want it to be enough. This gap in here. And we've got this series of branches. This one's dark. And then there's this one that's kind of sitting here. And then the other ones, I'm not going to worry about getting it exactly right. And then there's a thick one here. And I've got it kind of here. I think that's about right. Kind of what I want. And then there's something like that. All right. Now there's a dark kind of area at the base of these trees. Go ahead and indicate that shadow. It's funny when I select stuff to paint for you guys, I'm always equivocating. I'm always, should I do that or not? Like, oh, I like to pick things that I want to paint. I try not to do too much. Oh, you guys will like it. People, because I know that sounds counter, but I actually think that in the end, if I pick something that I want to paint and I'm excited about it, it's going to be more exciting for you because it's going to turn out better. If I start, it's like second guessing what your audience wants or what your buyers are going to like, where artistically it's just kind of better just to paint something that really excites you, and then finding people that are also excited by it. Kind of doesn't work the other way around, actually. Funny. So this, don't get too thick and stay pretty thin. Yeah, this is pretty amazing photograph, actually. Pretty amazing scene. Yeah, it's good. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm gonna just get some foliage in here. I want to get it probably kind of brighter at the beginning than I think, because I can always come back over. I'm gonna look over here. I'm gonna make sure I don't have anything. Oh, maybe. Okay. That's an okay start. Kind of sneaking up on it. All right. Now, I want to see what that is. Oh, that's interesting. That's darker than I thought. Because it is still kind of in shadow. Boy, greens are so tricky. I want these to be definitely, I want that shadow shape, that foresty shadow. Soft light. Right. It's starting to happen. Mm, what's up, Bryce?
Kind of want to tweak that camera right above you just a
Okay.
little so we can see all of your sticks.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
care if I
We're
can-
gonna
alright,
let
let's try real
Bryce
quick.
get in here for a sec.
I think it should be just like that. Better?
That's pretty
There we
good.
go. There we go.
Right.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. I knew Bryce was wanting something.
Lurking
Wanting to
behind.
make it. All right. Okay. So that's pretty good. Now let's get some tree trunk color in, and then this back in here, which is going to make it all pop. And then we'll come back and decide whether this needs to be lighter. I actually don't think so, because what's going to happen is once we get that light back in there, it's going to want to be like that. But I'm gonna wait just a second now. I want to get some tree trunk color in. Ooh, that's it. That is it, man. That's what I want. Like that. At least to start. Just to start. I have painted from this reference before, or this grouping of reference photos, when I was out photographing. I took, oh my God, I have so many from that day, because I was going nuts. So beautiful. And I did a really big piece based on these references. It was huge. Pastel, like super big. I used to paint some really big pastels, but I don't do that anymore. I just can't do it. I just don't want to do it anymore. Okay, that's starting to do some things that I want. And there's a whole bunch of, maybe I want that more purple. It's fun. Oh, and I also did some oil paintings based on, I forgot about that. I did some oil paintings based on this grouping of reference, and they were really big, 48 by 48, and they were really wild colors. They were like almost psychedelic. They were kind of cool. um, and then here's this one. This one's got a neat shape to it. And then this guy over here in the corner. It gets that. All right. Okay, it's starting to take shape. Okay. Now, the thing that I know that the more experienced you are as a painter, the more you can sort of anticipate what's coming next. Like I already kind of see where this can go, and I think that when you're just starting out, it's obviously really a lot harder to like anticipate. And so I'm that being able to anticipate helps you get through that sort of yuck stage of a piece. I'm not saying this looks yucky, but most paintings do have that stage where like, I don't know about this. And the more you paint, the more confidence you'll have about getting through those stages of the game that they're part of it. They are definitely part of it. And super necessary part of it. You know, that's what it's. Okay. Up. I want to get a couple of things going. Looking for a bit of this. This is a soft. Right. There's that bright purple. All right, so now I'm going to get that sky. I'm going to start knitting the sky around, which will sort of pull it all together. I hope. I hope. More purple over here. This is a little more blue. This is where the kind of psychedelic color can kind of come in. It's pretty crazy. Looks good. All right. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Sky. I'll come in there with something. And I don't want to use super white, not yet. So I'm going to go to my this is going to give me the opportunity to really carve into these shapes and play with these shapes. Back. Right. Okay, so now this needs to go a little bit lighter, which I kind of figured. Let's see what happens if we do this. That's interesting, right? I'm deciding on something here. Yeah, that's a pretty good mix. Probably not going to be able to, I'm probably not going to be able to finish this the way I would like to, but I'll get it to the point where you can kind of see.
Do you know what yellow that is?
No.
Or at least who made it?
Who made it? Um, I think it's a unison. Pretty sure. So really, it's this one. Getting that exact yellow is not going to help you. It's not. It can be any kind of, that kind of yellow. Ooh. That's weird, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I'm going to go back into these and get, just so you can see where I would be headed. To get, this kind of, not really detail, but texture. Okay, now I want to address this little spot because I think that that's going to be important. Do I want to brighten that yellow right there? I think I do. But not too much. It's still kind of in shadow, so that's a tricky one. The yellow. Let's see.
Do you know what time of day this was taken?
This is morning. Boy, that's not exactly what I want. Something about like that. Yeah, that's not bad. That doesn't, I don't hate that. That right there. Now, come back over here. Like so. I want those leaves to have a little glow of light on the edges of them. So that's starting to get that feel that I want. That the forest is in shadow, but it's beautiful, kind of glowing feel. So it's, you know, that's what you want then. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of work down in here so you could see what I would do with that. I'm not, boy, this is definitely bit off more than I could chew today in terms of finishing this.
You still have a good 15 minutes.
Yeah, but this is one of those that kind of warrants a little bit more time. It's really pretty cool. I haven't done one of these kind of things in a while. And this is kind of about really carving the shapes out and really designing these shapes, taking the time to do that. Kind of see what's going to happen there. Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to get in here and play with this foreground a little bit. There's so much color in this. It's really neat. There's this really rich, that's, you know, this is kind of what's going on here. Just make sure we really like it. Just play with that until I get kind of what I want. Enough texture in there. Probably toward the end, I would really pop in some color, you know, go something like that. I'm probably not there yet, but I'd probably be doing something like that. And then
We're getting some feedback that if you don't finish today, they'd love to see you record this and have another inside the studio.
oh yeah, I'll finish it. I'll record it. I mean, I can work on it a little bit longer today. We can stay, and Bryce is up for it. Can you stay a little bit, Bryce?
Yeah, of course.
We'll see how far we can get. Sometime, maybe it'll come together faster than I think. But I suspect that it just feels like it warrants a little more, oops, time. Okay, there's this little section right here that I like. Let's see. Okay, so that is the there. And it's not exactly, I'm not adhering exactly to the reference, but I want to get the flavor of what's going on. It would be kind of impossible for me to keep exactly to the reference. It's kind of complicated. Hmm. I also have to get it done before I get bored with it. I'll get bored with it. I'm like, "Ugh, I don't want to finish it." That's a danger for me. It's starting to do some cool things. All right. You know, there's all kinds of fun things to do in here. And I'm still a little stumped on that yellow right there. Kind of want to make it a little bit brighter. Yeah. Yeah, that could be. Right. There's a bit of an idea of this kind of thing. And that, I'm putting that in right now just to give me something to work against, kind of, in terms of figure ground and negative shapes. It's a little premature, but might be helpful just to give me a frame of reference. Get this a little. Yeah. Whew. Just take just a little break here. Do we have any questions that I could answer while I'm taking a breather here?
Let's see.
Let's see. Now, so I'm just getting those kind of layers happening, which I think are good. No, I think I can speed it up a little bit. Better. There's a lot of like work that I need to do just to kind of design these shapes the way I would want them. But it's getting there. It's got potential. I like that. Kind of see my way to the finish line a little bit. There. Right, you guys, I think I'm getting weary, so I'm gonna wrap it up. But yeah, it's got some potential. So, ooh, I got a lot of sticks down here, boy. That's quite the little collection. And I think before I go very much further, I'll probably put some of these back. I think I put some sticks that I really didn't use that weren't, I just stuck them down there and I didn't really use them, but yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's getting there. It's stepping back from it, looking at it a little bit smaller. It kind of pulls it together a little bit. Things I would do is, I need to finish knitting the sky around some of the foliage, just really designing some of these shapes a little bit more, getting a little, I have something in mind for this foreground and I didn't really quite hit on it while I was working, but I think given just a little bit more time I could. I really like how these low bushes or branches are drifting across the front of the tree trunks. So I would try to get that a little bit more interesting. And yeah, so I think, yeah, I think it'll get there. So yeah, that's fun. So thank you so much for joining us today, and be sure to head to the website paintinglessonswithmarla.com and check out our new workshop. It's a standalone workshop and it has, oh boy, I think it has 13 hours, I think, of video and a bunch of lessons, and it's not just a collection of lessons. It really goes really deep into those 3 core elements of the landscape, really foundational elements. The study guide is about 120 pages long, so it's really, really in depth. It's like a book on its own, really. So it's really beautifully done, I think. So yeah. So
Play
I
the
hope you could.
commercial on the way out.
What? Oh yeah, let's play
Let's
the
do it.
commercial on the way
All right.
out. Yeah,
All right.
for sure.
Here we go.
Have you ever stood in awe of a beautiful landscape, wishing you could capture that magic on paper? Today I'm thrilled to share my new workshop, Landscapes in Pastel. Nature has always been the perfect muse for artists, offering endless opportunities to capture light, texture, and color. We'll start by exploring the rich legacy of landscape painting, from ancient cave painting to the masters of today. You'll discover how artists like Constable, Monet, and Carlson revolutionized landscape painting and how their insights can transform your own work. But don't worry, this isn't an art history lesson. We'll take these timeless principles and translate them into practical techniques. Our journey is divided into 3 core elements, each accompanied by in-depth instruction and video demonstrations. But before we pick up at Pastel, you'll learn how to truly see these elements like an artist. First, we'll master the sky, the backbone of any landscape. You'll understand cloud formations, atmospheric effects, and how light shapes everything below. Then you'll learn to paint everything from dramatic storm clouds to a serene sunset gradation. Next, we'll tackle trees, those essential anchors of landscape painting. Using time-tested principles like Carlson's theory of angles, I'll show you how to break down seemingly complex forms into manageable shapes. Finally, we dive into water, learning the physics of reflections and refractions before exploring how to paint mirror-like surfaces, rippling streams, and dynamic waves. We'll put it all together in 9 complete demonstrations. Imagine capturing the delicate quality of light trickling through a forest canopy at Black Butte, the soft transitions of rolling hills and aerial perspective in a gentle green, or the warm glowing essence of a midsummer's day in Meadow Path. We'll even push your creativity with a 15-minute speed painting challenge that will help your work be more confident and intuitive. Each demonstration includes detailed, real-time instruction where I share not just the what, but the why behind every technique. I'll also provide you with a curated list of resources and suggested study paths for continuing your artistic journey. Plus, you'll join a supportive online community where you can share your work, ask questions, and connect with fellow artists who share your passion for landscape painting. Best of all, this isn't a race to the finish line. With over 10 hours of video instruction and a comprehensive 120-page ebook, plus lifetime access to all the content, you can learn at your own pace and revisit the lessons whenever you need a refresh. Don't let another beautiful landscape slip away uncaptured. Join me and let's transform your passion for nature into artwork you'll be proud to display. Ready to begin? Let's start painting landscapes in pastel together. All right, guys. All right, thanks for joining us today. I really, really appreciate it. Hope you have a lovely, wonderful weekend, creative weekend, and you get to draw and paint or whatever it is that you like to do. And yeah, I'm a little pooped out from this. I will finish it and try to do it on camera so that you can see how it wound up. All right, guys, and be sure to head to the Etsy site and take some of these off my hands. I would really, really appreciate it. And it's a really good deal. They're 30% off, so that's a lot. All right, guys, see you soon. See you next time. All right, bye-bye.